up, guys? This is Dread the Game right here. Welcome back to another video. Today, everybody, we are playing some more Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 here. Today, everybody, we have got another aircraft here for me to show you guys, and this is one beast of an aircraft. You guys are going to love this one. This is the Tupolev Tu-134. Now, this is one of the most legendary aircraft ever built in the Soviet Union. It was a regional airliner. It has two engines at the back, as you can see, not three engines like the Tu-134 did. This aircraft first flew in 1966, I believe, and it was produced up until 1989, and it was flying in Russia up until 2019. This aircraft has a top speed of 590 miles an hour, a cruise speed of 466 miles per hour, and a range of 1,864 miles. So this is not a bad plane at all. Now, this aircraft is actually a bit of a pain to get into Flight Sim 2020. This aircraft is originally a FS 2004 converted to an FSX, then converted to a FS 2020 plane. But we have got the Aeroflot livery, we've got the old school livery from the 70s. Now, I'll show you guys the interior of this plane. So here you got your cockpit. And obviously none of this stuff works perfectly, but you know, that's understandable. But if we go up here, so the gauges, the yokes work now. Alright, so the throttle's on that side, but it does appear to work. Now, back here there's nobody, but the navigator sits right here under the nose of the plane, like in the nose of the plane, which is kind of cool, but... So here's where like the navigator would sit. He looks right out the nose of the plane, which must be kind of cool but scary at the same time, I reckon. But pretty cool. Now if we come back up, it takes us back to the cockpit. Very Russian type looking cockpit, but very beautiful despite the fact it's an FS 2004. It does not look bad. It came over quite well, but we are going to go for the door here. So here I guess we just have a cargo door. Here we have like a baggage area where I guess you could store some baggage. So that's where it would go here. Now, if we keep going, we have our... Right here, we have got our like galley. We got, you know, some drinks here. Right here, we got a door, and the door actually does open. The jetway does actually work, which is pretty cool. Hopefully I can demonstrate that later on in the video. So here you got your first class. You know, you got these type style seats. Oh, went for the roof, and now going on to the back. It's pretty much the same all the way back. That's pretty much the same, but not a bad plane at all. The interior is very 60s type style looking, but this aircraft was built in the 60s. But I must admit, this is a beautiful aircraft. So back here is right where the, yep, it ends all right here, and here's the engine. So this plane, it's quite well for an FS 2004, but the only flaw is that the engines don't turn. That's the only flaw of this plane. But we are at Vnukovo Airport in Moscow today. We're going to take this plane on a short flight over Moscow, and I'll see what's up with this plane. But in the meantime, let's turn off the park brake. Let's spool those engines up, and we got some wing flex. Alright, the engines are spooling up. Thank you. Okay, we are at full throttle now. What a great plane. I love this thing, but let's get her airborne. Alright, V1 rotate. Let's rotate, get her off the ground. Alright, gear up, thank you. Wow, this thing, wow, we gotta turn that down a bit. Alright, gear is going up now. I thought I was putting it up, but I guess not. Alright, so we are now gonna fly over Moscow a little bit. Alright, we got Turkish Airlines behind us. Now this looks quite cool, but one thing I really got to do is I got to go down to the navigator's seat and just look how this looks. Oh my god, it looks so freaking cool. Just seeing out of all of this. It looks so cool, and there's an alarm going off, but this just looks so cool, guys. So this is a freeware aircraft. It's a good one. Now we are gonna, we can put our flaps up now. We probably could have done that way before. But this plane is quite nice. Let's see, we're actually currently flying on live weather. It is 5 in the morning. Uh-oh, we have hit a speed bug by the looks of it. Yep, that is the flaw of some of these FSX planes, is they tend to hit speed bugs. That's thanks to a recent update. Hopefully Azobo will fix that soon. So if we just switch over to modern, it should fix it. You see, the problem with modern is that the rudder is so sensitive with modern, as you can see. When you set it for modern flight model, the rudder is so sensitive. As you can see, it's fishtailing like hell. And obviously it shouldn't do that. So now the fact that we have slowed down, I reckon if we stay under 300 knots, we shouldn't hit any speed bugs. So let's just go back to Legacy for now. Alright, apply, thank you, and we should be all set, I reckon. Now, I don't believe this aircraft has fuel consumption, but many converted aircraft don't have fuel consumption. Ooh, that was a bit of a steep turn. Alright. So, early morning flight over Moscow here on the Tu-134. Quite enjoyable. I reckon I'm going to do a fly out in this plane sometime. So let's speed up here a bit, but not too fast, so we don't hit a speed bug. Now, in the meantime, I'm actually curious, how does this plane do with the autopilot? So let's set up the altitude hold for about 3,000 feet. Let's set up heading hold. So heading hold 72 degrees, altitude hold 3,000 feet, and autopilot engaged. Let's see how it does. Alright, we're already veering off course. We were at 72 degrees and we are now at 69 degrees, so that is not good. I set the altitude hold at 3,000 feet, but it's putting me back to 27, or it's now throwing me back down to 25. So the autopilot on this thing is not good, apparently. So this should be a good plane for a long haul, but at the same time, in real life, it doesn't have the range for a long haul. But let's get a view from like a window seat here. I reckon this will look pretty cool. Looking over Moscow here, some residential neighborhoods, which I didn't even think, actually there still were any like residential suburbs like this in Moscow. I thought it was all just apartment complexes like that. I guess I thought wrong. Now we've got Vnukovo Airport over there, but we're more than 5 miles out, so that's why we don't see no marker to it. And we are going a bit slow. Let's speed up here, thank you. This plane is quite powerful by the feels of it. It feels very fast, nimble, and sexy, to be honest. These aircraft are still flying in North Korea to this day, but they are not flying anywhere else in the world anymore. The last one was retired in Russia in 2019, which is unfortunate. I've never actually flown on one of these planes, and it would be really awesome if I could, but looks like the only way to do that would be to fly to North Korea, which you don't want to do that. It's owned by a dang old crazy man. But this would be a good plane to do some like regional flights in. Over Russia, you know, do a flight from maybe like, I don't know, Murmansk to Moscow, or like Vladivostok to Anadyr. This would be a good plane for that, you know. It's not too big, but the autopilot isn't that good. Oh, alright, we are getting over some bigger complexes in Moscow now. There's Vnukovo Airport. Now, I've been doing some regional flying in the SSJ 100 lately, but the autopilot is not the best in that thing, I've noticed. So we are doing a flight over Moscow. Now let's head over to Moscow State University, which is right there. So let's fly over it, do a loop, and then fly back to Vnukovo. Seems like a good flight path, I reckon. But this is such a good plane, though. Let's get a nice screenshot of it here. Alright, it's trying... Uh-oh, we have hit a speed bug. Plane is vibrating. Like, yep, we've hit a speed bug. Alright, let's go back to modern. That's what happens when you go past 300 knots. You hit speed bugs, so... Let's go back to modern. I was hoping to get a screenshot there, but I guess not. Alright, we are falling out of the sky now. Alright, let's just put this away. We will go over back into Legacy in a little bit. Alright, so we are... Oh, man. Yep, that's a problem with... That's another problem with flying this thing on modern, is the freaking elevators are so damn sensitive. So keep that in mind, guys. But right now, we are flying over Moscow State University, which is like the most prestigious colleges, or was, and at least in the Soviet times. I don't know if it is today, but it's supposed to be, it's like the college that everyone wanted to get into back in the USSR. Right, I'm sure the people are not happy with a Tu-134 flying solo over their houses this morning, but we're heading back to Vnukovo shortly, so I'm sure these guys aren't going to be too upset. Alright, let's find the airport, if I can actually even find it. So let's put our VFR back on, thank you. So Vnukovo is over here. Yes, it is. Now, yeah, if we just keep turning this way, we should be lined right up for it. Alright, I reckon let's speed up a bit here. Now, I don't actually see the runway. I guess we must be that far out. Now, I'll admit, I am on low graphics because I have a shit GPU. But, yeah, I don't see it anywhere. So, I guess we'll have to get closer to it. And then might have to do a short final there, but... What if we could get a butter with this plane? That would be kind of nice if we could. You know, get a butter. Alright, that looks more like a shopping mall or an office building of some sort. Looks too big to be an apartment complex, I reckon. Alright, let's lay back on the throttles here. Yeah, we got really far out from Vnukovo, because I cannot find it anywhere. Even though I didn't think we did, but it looks like we did. But apparently this aircraft actually... Oh, we are coming in too low. That is low. Apparently this aircraft actually flew first in 1963. But it was only produced actively from 1966 until 1989. But it first flew in 63, not 66 as I thought. But the only airline that's still flying this thing is Air Koryo, which is a terrible disappointment. But they designed this because they were looking for a... They were looking for like a, kind of like a small jet airliner for everyone. That's why they designed this thing to begin with, because the Tu-104 was getting outdated, because the Tu-104 first flew in 1955, I believe. And it had no reverse thrusters. So that thing was kind of... It had a parachute, so that thing was having some safety problems. So that's one reason why they designed this aircraft. The engines were located in the wing, so the engines were hard to service. Then there was the Tu-134, which was a turboprop aircraft, which was more or less built for long-haul flights, not so much regional flights. And then there was the Tu-124, which was really just a 104 without the parachute and maybe some other small features and differences. But again, it had the engines in the wing, so the Tu-134 was one of the aircraft that did not have the engines. Was one of the first Tupolev jet airliners to not have jet engines in the wings, but instead they're mounted at the tail on this one. And I believe this actually originally came from this whole design idea actually came from when Nikita Khrushchev went on vacation to France in the 1960s, and he flew on a Sud Aviation Caravelle, which had the engines in the rear. So that's kind of the myth. I don't know how true that story is, but that's a myth behind why this aircraft has engines mounted in the rear. Okay, so we are not lined up for the runway, of course, so we might have to make a couple of passes before we get lined up. Yeah, I know, I don't. I reckon we can. It'll just be a short final, but I reckon we can. Alright, let's do this. Let's take flaps full. Gear out. Thank you. Alright, gear is coming on out. Alright, this is going to be a short final. In reality, in real life, you would not want to drift over the airport like this. This is not what you would do in real life, but this is Flight Simulator, and I'm Dre the Gamer, so that's why I would do this type of stuff. But let's try and see if we can get this buttered, despite the fact it's a short landing. That was a butter. That was not bad at all, and there's actually even an animation for the reverse thrusters, if you can see. That is quite cool. But in the meantime, I want to show you guys how the jetway works. So let's alright, so let's just taxi on over to one of the gates. Alright, come on, turn. Thank you, if you will turn. We're on the taxiway here now. Alright, you know what? Let's just slew on over, because I'm too lazy to taxi. Alright, so we are coming into a poorly rendered terminal that has no windows. Alright, let's try and just park her right like this. Alright, let's do just like that. Now let's request a... Alright, we cannot request a jetway connection. Okay, so I've got it working. Let's see if we can get a jetway connection now. So let's contact ground. Ground services. And let's see if we can request a jetway connection. Alright, it's going to question if it's going to connect the jetway. Alright, we're powering down the engines. Alright, it is connecting. Alright, it is connecting perfectly. That connected like perfectly. That looks quite nice. And the door even opened up too, which was like super cool. So let's actually go to the back. Oh, and that light is going to annoy the crap out of me. Alright, so let's go and let's actually see how it looks like on the inside. So the door here is open, as you can see, but there is no animation for the jetway here. But you can see the kind of the roof from the jetway, like, you know, the rubber roof thingy. But you can't really go in the jetway. Yeah, no, you can't really. There's nothing much in here. But this is a great little plane, the Tupolev Tu-134. So yeah, this is pretty much the inside of the jetway. You can't actually like walk in here or nothing. But 215, 2-1-3 everybody. This is one great plane. But anyways, I would really recommend that you guys get this aircraft. I plan to do a fly out in this plane at some point in time, probably not too far from now. But anyways, I guess that wraps up for this video. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and please subscribe if you guys want more videos like these, and have a good day.